bloodyface versus...
Oh, it's our featured match.
Yeah.
All right, let's check out what the players have to say about each other before we go into match number 3.
Hello, my name is Kong Shu. My handle is StrifeCro. I think my play is unique in the sense that I'm very technical. I don't play a lot on intuition as much. I really like to have my thoughts and game plans planned out and go from there. I think a lot of players are kind of the opposite, where they are very intuition focused. But I don't think I'll ever be playing the same decks over and over again. I think a key part of the league is that you want some unpredictability.
My name's Brian Eason, also known as Bloodyface. I've played card games my whole life. I'm really good at analyzing things, really good at math. That in combination with my work ethic, I just play so much Hearthstone. I'm extremely opinionated, and I pretty much disagree with everybody all the time. You need to figure out what the top players are wrong about. I think Rogue and Mage are both pretty bad. I think they're both pretty overrated. I think Warrior's just by and far the best class, and it's not even close. A lot of the GMs still think Rogue and Mage are great. I don't know who's right. I mean, obviously I think I'm right.
One of my favorite esports memory, it was a dream hack when I was playing against Kalento. Eventually he beat me in that game, but I kind of brought the Mage to the tournament because I just wanted to show people I could destroy everyone with my kind of troll deck.
This is the craziest game of Hearthstone I've ever seen! Can you believe it?
StrifeCro took a step back before GM, but he's done very well. He has a very good record so far in Season 1. I love StrifeCro as a person. He's very soft-spoken. I think he's very objective. I think he looks at the game very clearly. And I think having that clear vision just kind of makes things a lot easier for you. So he's actually one of the people that I fear the most.
Bloodyface is one of the newer players, I believe. I actually don't know much about him. Honestly, I have met him at the summit here. He seems very nice, but I don't actually know anything about his Hearthstone gameplay, nor have I seen him play before.
I'm kind of a more creative type person. I'm more of artsy. And I think that kind of translates to Hearthstone, where I think of a lot of weird ideas. And I try a lot, and granted, a lot of them are bad, and I think I'm definitely one of the best, but at the same time, I realize that there's still room for improvement. I know where my weaknesses are, and I'm just trying to strive every day to be a better version of myself than I was the previous day.
All right, we got Bloodyface versus StrifeCro as TJ's rummaging through all of the deck lists there, trying frantically to be prepared, but try as you may. Actually, wow, you landed exactly onto the 2 deck lists. You actually found both of them, exactly.
I know.
Well done. All right, StrifeCro's bringing the Warrior. We saw him play yesterday, I believe. Has not been a very kind couple of weeks. Sorry, I'm trying to find my words here. In a very politically correct way.
It's going to be a long day.
StrifeCro sucked the past couple of weeks. That's not what I'm trying to say at all. StrifeCro went on a losing streak that was definitely not indicative of or reflective of his skill. Seems if he can bring it around here. Getting a win was really big, and if he's able to cement his lead into the 3rd place, it'll be really important because we have the last 3 games of the season beginning today.
That's right. And Bloodyface, kind of interesting in that featured matchup interview we had there. Bloodyface mentioned that he thinks Cycle Mage is overrated. He thinks Rogue is overrated. He thinks Warrior's by and far the best deck in the metagame. These interviews, that interview specifically with Bloodyface was not recorded that long ago.
And then he plays Cycle Mage.
Guess what? He's played Cycle Mage. And going up against StrifeCro, who did bring Bomb Warrior. So we'll see how he fares in this matchup. StrifeCro, I think that his deck is one of the best decks against Mage outside of the Archivist Elysiana. He has all the early curve except for one Town Crier, which I would probably put in 2. But Omega Assembly, which is a pretty dead card, he only has 1 copy. He's got double Octodelic, double Clockwork Goblin, Snip Snap. He has the curve that he needs to win. It's just a matter of finding it. And has Blastmaster Boom in the opening hand. Is a very high win rate card in this matchup, going by the data.
The data.
The data.
The
or,
dater.
sorry, dater, as Soto would call it. The dater says that Blastmaster Boom is the best 7-manner card in the game.
Well said.
Thank you.
I can't really disagree when you add an accent like that.
I know, my British
It
accent
just
is
sounds so smart.
flawless.
It's so hard to refute that. Snipper snapper. It's a good card. here to
What did
play.
were you telling me the story the other day? Snip Snap in Italian? In the Italian client?
That's definitely not me. That sounds like
Okay.
an admirable story.
I don't even know if it's an admirable story though. Who said this?
I don't know.
You're lying to me. You told me this story.
I definitely do not know what snip snap is in Italian. Although I do think that he motions with his hands the same way in Italian is known to do.
I'm not convinced, Dan. I think
Well,
you said it.
snip snap communicates with his claws very much like
No,
how Italians like to
that's
communicate with their hands.
no, that's not the story you told me yesterday.
I didn't tell you any story, TJ. Josh is not a real person.
You've been known to bend the truth a little bit from time to time on the broadcast.
Never. I've never embellished in my life or exaggerated. I'm a good person.
I know, Dan. I know. It was probably admirable.
I think it really was admirable. It does sound like something he would know.
95% of the stories that I hear in my life are from Admirable.
Because I feel like Admirable wouldn't be able to tell you that story without telling his encounters with other Italian people, like the guy that sold him his suit jacket. That is impervious to any liquid on the planet.
Yeah. But he won't let you test that theory.
Yes, he won't let us test it. He says, you can spill anything on this jacket, and it'll just come right off. Whoop. And we're like, all right, can we just pour Arrowhead water on it? It's like, no!
You might get it wet.
Yeah. We're like, all right. Sorry. Back to this game. StrifeCro trying to find a way to deal with this giant, but the Militia Commander one attack off build to do so. Doesn't look like he's going to use his Ziliax. I think this is right because the 3 damage is still about the same whether he invested in the Ziliax now versus later. Conjur's calling off the top with Khadgar.
Hot diggity dog.
I'm hard pressed to find a better play than the Conjur's calling Khadgar.
Yeah.
Although I'm sure Bloodyface is considering, what if he has the brawl?
Maybe you
Like trade.
don't play Khadgar.
Yeah, maybe instead you can Sandbinder instead of Resources.
Ooh.
Okay. So he's taking it slow. But he's the one who rushes to the brawl. And he makes the right read. I mean, StrifeCro did have the brawl. He could extend to the board and lose everything and be like, you know what? I lose.
Yeah.
Very nicely done.
Yeah. StrifeCro has playing double brawl in his deck. I'm almost certain that if StrifeCro only had 1 brawl in his deck, Bloodyface would have gone for Khadgar Conjurer's Calling. Because after drawing 9 cards, the likelihood that you have a 1 of in your deck is pretty low. Even if you're hard mulliganing for it, it's under 50%.
I think StrifeCro wants to also think about setting up for Blastmaster Boom the best way possible. Here we go.
Ooh.
Bloodyface is hoping for the 40% chance that he wins. Does not.
But now he's seen a brawl.
Now he's in a brawl. Now he can go for the Sandbinder. Hopefully picks up another Mountain Giant. Does.
Even
But
if
does
he
not have enough manner to do it. Sorry. All that talk about that flawless auto impression. Messing with my header.
I know how you feel.
Fear.
I know.
Well, okay, the funniest part about this very weird inside joke that's going on between me and TJ is that Sato doesn't think that he adds an R to everything. And then But while he's explaining that he doesn't say things with the R, he's ending every word with R.
Well, when he thinks about it,
It's not.
It's hard to notice.
Yeah.
It's not noticeable. But when he's like casting and he's in the moment, it's very pronounced. Just listen to it next time you listen.
It's like people who say like, "Oh, you slouch," and the person's like, "No, I'm not."
No, I
Like
don't.
standing up straight, like pushing out their chest, like, "Not."
And then you catch them gaming late at night,
Oh, I'm a sloucher at night.
and their upper back is higher than their head.
Yeah, dude, we have some mega slouchers in Hearthstone. Some of us,
Yeah.
especially when we play on tablets and phone all the time. Just kind of got bad neck posture.
Yep.
So, bloodyface trying to find a way to defuse the bomb situation. Next turn, he has the Mountain Giant, Khadgar, Conjurer's Calling. Post brawl, 4 damage to the face. That hurts.
So he wants to go for Mountain Giant Frost Nova.
Okay.
That would be my guess.
Play Sorcerer's Apprentice as well.
Yeah.
Increase the amount of targets onto the board.
Is that Archivist? Ooh. Opportunity for a Warpath here. And it's actually quite likely to clear off this Mountain Giant because he can Warpath twice. One of these bombs has to deal a single point of damage to the Mountain Giant. He can Militia Commander it down.
And he knows that the Conjurer's Calling, right?
He knows it's in hand,
It's in
so
hand.
there's a lot of incentive to go for that play. The added benefit of it is that you keep around your Blastmaster Boom. But if you miss the Mountain Giant, if you Warpath twice and the Mountain Giant's at 6 health, then you're sad. Just real sad. Ooh.
He's real sad.
Yep. I guess the consolation prize is that Mountain Giant can no longer trade in and then get value off of. Super value off Conjurer's Calling?
Yeah. Does make sense.
Yeah. I don't know if that sequencing is correct too. I think you'd rather play the Town Crier. There's nothing for 1 mana that you're going to pick up that's going to change your play, I don't think. And you'd rather, since it's your last rush minion, if you picked up that rush minion from the draw, then you'd be sad. All right. StrifeCro needs a brawl.
Oh, wait. No taunts. Now he has Mirror Image.
Yeah, don't play with fire there.
You know that he has 2 Militia Commanders. StrifeCro can go in with the Blastmaster Boom. 32 power showing. There's no way for him to deal with the Giants otherwise.
Is there any way you can survive with Ziliax? I don't think so. Well, he can Militia Commander Ziliax and go face. And then if one of these Giants has to attack he'd still be dead. Okay.
Yeah, I think.
So it doesn't matter. Yeah, it just has to push the 7 to face and hope for 2 bombs in a row.
Two bombs in a row is very unlikely here.
There are only 2 bombs in the deck.
He needs to find exactly those 2. StrifeCro did it to Firebat the other day.
Light the fuses!
Can still do it. Maybe was hoping he was going to draw a card.
Yeah, I think he was trying to hope that he hits the Acolyte here. And ends up coincidentally having the same effect.
All right, 2 bombs in a row.
There's just no way.
Nope.
Mage takes it over the Warrior. Bloodyface says, you know what, Cyclone Mage is overrated, but one matchup it's not overrated in, and how effective it can be against Warrior. At least when you're able to get the Khadgar Conjurer's Calling. I mean, that's just super powerful. All right, with that, we can talk a little bit about the secondary and tertiary decks in the coming moments, but we will be taking a break momentarily. Keep in mind that StrifeCro, his playoff chances are alive, but bloodyface is not. He's playing mainly for pride. So when we come back, we're going to talk a little bit about their second and tertiary decks and get ready for game number 2 here in the HSGM.
My name is Brian Eason, also known as Bloodyface. When I first started playing Hearthstone, the first deck that I crafted was Miracle Rogue, and it was pretty much the only deck I played. I love combo style decks. I don't like really being aggressive per se, but I like having a deck that has a very aggressive finish. I think my X factor, maybe my defining characteristic, is that I think about everything. I mean, you could say that's like a characteristic of overthinking, but I think it's important to overthink because you're playing against like the best minds. And it's important to be understanding that everyone else is also capable of doing that. So you need to be able to outthink everybody. From a competitive standpoint, I want to improve as a player. Against Hunter Ace, I think I made a pretty big mistake. I really care about just making sure that whenever I play Hearthstone, it's my best Hearthstone. Initially, when I found out about Grandmasters, I kind of felt like it was just like kind of another league. But it wasn't until I was actually standing next to the other Grandmasters at Worlds that it made me feel like kind of emotional. We just had such a high concentration of like pure talent to actually hit that level and rub shoulders alongside them. It means a lot to me. Playing at the highest level is super interesting because people do unpredictable things. So I look forward to the mind games.
Hello, my name is Kong Shu. My handle is StrifeCro. I think my original name was just like Strife. I think I just stole it from someone else that I saw online at the time when I was like 10. One of my favorite esports memory, it was like a dream hack. I ended up having like this like epic, like I don't even know how long, this game against Glinto. Eventually he beat me in that game, but I kind of brought the mage to the tournament, not as like, say I thought it was like the best thing ever, but because I just wanted to like show people I could destroy everyone with my kind of like troll deck. The thing I'm most looking forward to in Grandmasters is kind of the dynamic, because I've never really had this like league kind of dynamic in the past. You have 2 matchups a week, and you can kind of like target them. You can start making spreadsheets, see what they play, see what decks are good against the decks that they play. You can even kind of play some mind games like that. I think my play is unique in the sense that I'm very like technical. I don't play a lot on intuition as much. Like I really like to have my thoughts and game plans planned out and go from there. My personal goals this year is kind of to get back into Hearthstone. Because I took such a long break, I feel like I'm finally refreshed and ready to go. So that's one thing I'm just looking forward to get like that motivation back.
Back everyone to the Hearthstone Grandmasters for the Americas region. Bloodyface currently 1 up over StrifeCro, who's looking to try and lock in that playoff spot with 2 more victories, but it's going to need a little bit of extra help in order to get to that point, given that he's going up against a tough matchup in Bloodyface.
That's correct, Dan. And it's going to get, I think, even tougher for StrifeCro, as Bloodyface will be switching to his secondary deck, which includes Harrison Jones, Luna's Pocket Galaxy, Karen Bloodhoof, and Astromancer. StrifeCro going to try and fight back a little bit with his tertiary deck. Not too many exclusions. He took out a Turning Rover, a Dynamatic, and Archivist Felicianos. Only 3 cards changed to make room for second Omega Devastator, 1 Big Game Hunter, and a Super Collider, as you can see there in the opening hand.
Yeah, only one ofs, which is interesting. Maybe StrifeCro thinks that he doesn't want to dilute too much of his situational removal and stick to his game plan, which I can understand. You know, for example, he only takes out 1 Turnium Rover. Turnium Rover can be pretty useful early on, or even just as a mid-game combo tool with things like Sip Snap and the Ziliax as a magnetize ability. Looks like bloodyface preparing for winter already.
Are you a blanket gamer, Dan?
I'm a wear. I mean, do I wear blankets when I game?
Yeah.
No.
There's 2 kinds of gamers: blanket gamers and no blanket gamers.
I'm a no blanket gamer.
No blanket gamers.
I don't understand. Is this a reference to something?
No, it's not. I'm just asking if you wear a blanket while you game.
No, I don't wear anything when I game.
Ooh. The best kind of gamer. I forgot the 3rd category of you.
That's right. He said there's only 2 kinds. I'm like, eh. But it does look very comfortable. Augmentella comes down. A difficult minion to remove. Bloodyface gonna dig deeper into his deck, looks like at first glance, and it makes sense given that his hand doesn't have anything quite amazing for the next few turns. Conjure's Calling and the Mountain Giant are turns away. Oh, but there are some big combo potential in Bloodyface's hand.
Oh, yeah. Just needs 1 Mountain Giant to stick, but StrifeCro's got...
He's got
curves.
The bombs. That's right. He's got the bombs on the way delivered.
Oh,
signed up for express shipping. Expect it in your inbox any day, Bloodyface.
So I think you got to get the ball rolling here. And Mountain Giant plus Mirror Image.
Yeah, they can't really shield slam it down. It's a little bit tricky for them to get past everything. They can't Dynamatic it. I like it. And the upside of it is very high.
Every other play is just way too slow.
I wonder.
He knows that there's 1 VGH in the deck. Ugh.
I mean, he could still giant coin Conjurer's Calling next turn.
Yeah,
oh, man.
But he's gonna die, Dan.
Not if he's holding 10 cards all the time. Can't get exploded if I have my hand full the entire game.
True. Yeah.
StrifeCro thinking about how he wants to utilize his mana. I like the Wrench Caliber because then you have the double 3-drop on 6.
Yep. Wrench Caliber's just kind of weird with the Sandbinder on board. Because you have to trade 2 things into it to kill it.
Why are we trading at all?
That's a fantastic question, Dan.
Why are we trading at all? I like the go face plan. It's 9 damage. You run down to 18. But this does shut off Conjurer's Calling. Ooh, Harrison Jones. Ooh. Shut down.
Job's done.
Alright, Conjurer's Calling.
StrifeCro's got the Super Collider lined up for this, but does get Grief Horror.
How greedy are you? Wait, can you just snip snap this down? No.
No. I don't know, Dan. I'm kind of greedy.
His Ziliax.
Ziliax, and then you can magnetize Ziliax and just kill the Grave Horror, but you know there's a Conjurer's Calling in hand.
Right.
Oh, man.
But you know if there's another Conjurer's Calling, you can go for the Super Cloud.
Then you can go for the Super Collider after, but that's a very... Yeah, that's a greedy play.
Man, I just wanted to shuffle more bombs.
Yeah, but this shuts down Bloodyface's ability to get onto the board.
No, it's true. You absolutely should go for the full clear. You know, when we look at it, we're just thinking about more bombs, more bombs, more bombs. But the truth is, having 4 bombs in the deck is already still threatening because that's already Bloodyface's rest of his life here.
Yeah.
And the more Bloodyface his threats get checked, the more he has to draw deep into a deck. You're also dealing damage to him.
And StrifeCro, it's tough to find the space to expend the mana for Super Glider. This opens up his players for the following turns to be more aggressive.
Right.
Especially if Bloodyface has a relatively dead turn this turn, which it honestly seems like it is. He could go Mountain Giant Mirror Image, which was the play that I liked the best on turn 4 as it was. I understand his reasoning is because he didn't want to get punished by Big Game Hunter. He saw a card kept in the mulligan that was not played. Super Glider was kept in the mulligan and it wasn't played.
Yeah.
So I understand his reasoning.
Well, Bloodyface also lost to Harrison, so that's much more reason for StrifeCro to play the Super Glider as well and not be afraid of it.
Yeah.
And then the last thing is, I want to ask, do you think StrifeCro should have traded the Elephant or the Clockwork Goblin? Because Clockwork Goblin is a mech, but it's also 3 health, so it stays alive to some of the other things like Ray of Frost. But the upside of having his additional bomb being shuffled in.
I think you keep the Clockwork Goblin. I like having the opportunity to magnetize the
All right.
Good talk.
Fair enough.
But now Bloodyface did see the card that was kept in the mulligan and not played turns 1 through 4. So now he feels much better about playing a Mountain Giant. Unfortunately for him,
The BGH.
StrifeCro picked up the BGH.
The Big Game Hunter.
I've got the beast in my sight.
It was a risk that he was willing to take. But he's not out of it just yet. He has Luna's Pocket Galaxy.
I think Bloodyface kind of gives a smirk because he's like,
Oh.
he's like, oh yeah, I played around that Big Game Hunter. I'm so good.
Does he have time to come back if he plays the Lunas here?
Probably not. He's going to take too much damage on board.
He needs spells.
Yeah, he may have to go for Mana Cycle in this turn, but he can only get 2 spells.
We can play Banana Buffoon.
Yeah, he can only get 2 spells.
You're right, doesn't have the invocation. 2 spells, trade. It's kind of ugly.
Man, his hand felt so good.
What to do? What to do?
Felt a little good, but it also got really awkward, and now he has Khadgar Conjurer's Calling with nothing else left.
Someday I'll be just
Time runs out on me.
Well, he picks up a Shooting Star and a Frost Nova. Those are like decent utility tools. And now StrifeCro looks like he's just going to climb pretty far ahead. He has a Super Collider for the clear.
Yep. And then he can just push.
Push damage.
Yeah. Honestly, just like Clockwork Goblin, Ziliax, and push 7.
What now?
Put another bomb in the deck. There'll be 4 left in the deck. And you have a 2-bomb breakpoint. There's also opportunity for Snip Snap to come out here as well. It's a little bit extra damage right now because you'll be able to Snip Snap twice onto this Clockwork Goblin.
Sometimes I feel so good at 9.
It does, yeah. So you can, and if you Ziliax play Clockwork Goblin, spreads out your mechs, then you have the opportunity to go for Snip Snap next turn. So I like that. And you're okay leaving the mana cycling up. That's not that huge of a deal. So Super Collider, the Sorcerer's Apprentice, Ziliax, Clockwork Goblin, push. All right, never mind. Wants to keep the board completely clear.
I mean, he could have been completely clear, but he's still saving his Ziliax in case he needs higher board impact from the hand.
Okay.
Oh my gosh. More bombs being drawn. I mean, there's still 3 more in the deck, so there's 5 total.
Yeah.
Bloodyface looks like he's tapping out of this one soon, though. The bomb pressure is too much. Augmented Elec shuffling so many copies.
Yeah, he needs to rely on drawing something big from his deck to be able to Conjurer's Calling next turn, but not looking good.
Yeah, I think from StrifeCro's perspective, probably is going to go for that situation where he just snaps a lot and magnetizes. Spread the love a little bit. Make sure Ray of Frost doesn't completely immobilize you.
Yeah, you can play the third one by itself.
You could, yes. That actually does make sense.
Yep.
What is happening? He just keeps drawing bombs.
The future is ours.
He's gonna draw another bomb, isn't he?
Behold the tools of creation.
What?
Behold the tools of creation.
He just drew 4 bombs and 7 cards.
Ooh. Those ones sting.
StrifeCro,
Oh man.
he's the mad bomber. I don't understand how he keeps getting these bomb combinations against opponents when they're so improbable.
And it's kind of crazy. You look at the beginning of that game and you're like, oh my goodness, Bloodyface hand is so good. He's got Mountain Giant. He's got the coin, Arcane Intellect, Conjurer's Calling.
With Khadgar.
With
Mana
Khadgar
Cyclone,
in
and
hand.
Sorcerer's Apprentice.
Yeah, if you said, TJ, you have to predict the outcome of this game, I would give like Bloodyface 85% favorite. But the Super Collider keep that Bloodyface seemed to read as Big Game Hunter forced him off the Mountain Giant play on turn 4, which would have just blown StrifeCro out of the game. Obviously results oriented, and like looking at everything together, I think I agree with Bloodyface's decision. What else could it be when a warrior in that matchup keeps a card in the mulligan that they don't play on turns 1 through 4? It's Blastmaster Boom or it's Big Game Hunter. Those are the only two things.
Or Super Collider.
Or Super Collider. But even then,
It's the least likely of it.
it's the least likely of those 3.
Don't hate it.
All right. Game 3 for all the marbles. Bloodyface on coin again. Starts with Arcane Intellect and the Harrison Jones, which he burned last game. But StrifeCro's got a nice curve himself, too.
Yeah, StrifeCro having the Clockwork Goblin and the Wrench Caliber. Thinking about if he wants to keep this Omega Devastator. I think the left 2 cards, prime candidates for the keeps. Oh, he throws away Wrench Caliber. That's interesting.
Oh, man.
And it ends up lining up pretty well because Harrison Jones has is in Bloodyface's opening hand.
I really like Wrench Caliber.
I think Wrench Caliber might even be the highest win percentage card that's not Dr. Boom Mad Genius in the deck, based off Mulligan's percentages. Because it accomplishes 2 things. It helps you either clear the board or push damage both ways, right? Because you're shuffling bombs and you get to swing with the weapon. It's almost kind of like Death Bite level of importance in Patron Warrior. It feels like.
Death's Bite.
Maybe we just gotta stop printing 4-mana weapons for Warrior class. Maybe.
Bloodraiser was pretty good.
It
was pretty good, but I feel like it was balanced because it wasn't. I guess Wrench Caliber's not played in every Warrior deck, but Bloodraiser I feel like was playing like a lower percentage of Warrior decks than any other. Mostly because it was around during aggressive Warrior metas.
Yeah, I mean, I remember Bloodraiser also saw a lot of play during the when Fatigue Warriors thing with Dead Man's Hand.
Yeah, but during that time, or at least during some of that time, Pirate Warrior was also a thing.
Yeah. Oh, all right.
If he had a Conjurer's Calling here, he could go Elemental Evocation twice. Actually, if he just had a Conjurer's Calling, he could Elemental Evocation once and then coin out a Conjurer's Calling. Not the case. Does he feel like has the time to coin Lunas?
That's the $1,000,000 question right now. Does he feel like he needs to put presence on the board with the Mountain Giant, or should he go for Luna's Pocket Galaxy? I think he's learned from the previous game and knows in the back of his mind instinctively he can't take too much damage.
Yeah.
Towncrier's pretty decent draw here for his second Militia Commander. Feels at his curve. Although he can't take down the Giant without Warpathing twice. Is it worth the Warpath here? I think so. I think we want to stop the Khadgar Conjurer's Calling because you don't have Brawl. So Warpath twice plus Towncrier. Seems pretty good.
Yeah. Warpath, pretty much mirror image boards is the only time you use it in this matchup.
I wonder.
Maybe a low card Astromancer.
Right. I mean, I think this is ultimately what gives the play that bloodyface chose a lot of life, because if StrifeCro spends his entire turn removing, that's not big game hunter, he can just play Luna's Pocket Galaxy. Now he has a lot of time. And all of a sudden, a matchup that looked pretty decent for the Warrior in the position like this with Luna's Pocket Galaxy becomes a lot scarier.
Yeah, the threats that bloodyface has left in his deck: 1-mana Cairn, 1-mana Astromancer.
He does have the
one-mana
double
Mount.
booms. He has them double booms though, and double boom is often a recipe for success.
What
Blastmaster
now?
Boom doesn't have to come out immediately, but it can just as 2 boom bots because there's 1 bomb in the deck. But Mad Genius coming out before it also amplifies everything in its power level. So if you want to set up the best turn before it, you usually want to play the strongest minion you have. In this case, the most resilient one is Ziliax, but because of Mage Hero power, it ends up becoming Militia Commander. I can also foresee StrifeCro saying, you know what, Militia Commander is only 2 attack, maybe I just play Acolyte as a 1 attack minion. Force him to deal with the Acolyte of Pain.
Unity, precision.
Ziliax it is.
Yeah, it's the most expensive minion. The strongest minion. It's not the best play.
Behold the tools
Whoa.
of creation. Behold the tools of creation.
Oh, I would definitely like to see. Oh, he's gonna go for the Arcane Intellect. Okay. Evocation Mountain Giant. He's just popping off.
Behold the tools of creation.
Wow.
Probably
What a turn!
Probably attached to bananas as well.
He developed a 2/4, a 3/2, a 2/2, an 8/8, and drew 4 cards.
Oh, he's not done yet. P.S. StrifeCro, I ain't done yet.
All right, an 8/8, a 4/6, a 3/2, a 2/2, drew 4 cards, and then created 4 random mage spells. Holy moly.
I mean, that was a turn. Oh, Super Collider. Interesting.
Super Collider positioning poor.
Yes, should have positioned on the far right.
In
That-
fact,
I think that matters.
that matters a lot. He kills the Luna and the Mountain Giant, the 2 biggest minions.
What
And his Ziliax stays alive because he just Divine Shielded in. Because the Mountain Giant's going to take 5 damage perfectly.
He doesn't have enough to take down the Sorcerer's Apprentice.
Yeah, but
Yeah, you don't focus on that. You focus on killing the giant.
wonder.
Bloodyface still a lot of threats left in the deck, though. Including 1-mana Archmage Antonidas.
Just play secrets galore. Secret. You can also Harrison stop the Super Collider too.
Yep.
That
I like
belongs
that.
in a museum.
You see, want to dub this Ray of Frost?
Well, opportunity is past now, I believe. He would have had to double Ray of Frost the Town Crier.
He doesn't want to burn a really important card.
He should have double Ray of Frost the Town Crier.
Yeah, he should have.
That's also a missed 2 damage now as well. Bloodyface kind of smiling to himself. Kind of a...
He's like, I should just pass. I should just pass. But if I pass and I burn the most important card, I'll look like a fool.
Yeah.
Whoops.
Yep. A couple small errors from Bloodyface. A couple turns in a row there with Super Clouded positioning and the Ray of Frost, but don't know if it'll affect the game's outcome. We'll have to see.
StrifeCro needs to kill off the Sorcerer Apprentice. He knows that there's a bunch of randomly generated spells, and there's still more spells being drawn.
Yeah, and this secret is Counterspell, I do believe. Yes, it is.
I wonder.
In order to remove it, it would be a double Militia Commander.
I wonder.
Whoa. Alrighty then.
StrifeCro feels like he can't really win the game unless he plays Doctor Who Mad Genius. And to be fair, it is a safer-ish turn. I just that when you have so many spells, it feels like you give the mage an opportunity to just once again go insane.
Yeah.
Maybe StrifeCro's mind though. Bloodyface already played 2 Mountain Giants.
But even just a Conjurer's calling on this Harrison Jones.
Yeah.
He didn't get to test for any secrets here.
He can with the Microbots next turn.
Yeah, but he tests for Splitting Image only. And I wonder if Bloodyface wants to take it slow. But with a Counterspell for protection, I want to go in here. I want to double Conjurer's calling.
What to do? What to do?
Finds Pint-Sized Summoner and Soup Bender. Doesn't really heal anything to draw cards, but he can play Zilliax. Zilliax Soup Bender is a combo. That's pretty interesting. More spells being generated. And Spellbender, just more secrets. Messing with StrifeCro.
3 secrets up. Counterspell, Spellbender, and Vaporize.
And the psychology really does so much damage to StrifeCro too, because he doesn't know what secret it is, and he might not even get confirmation. Like, for example, if he plays Militia Commander attacks or Hero Powers attacks, Splitting Image might not, well, even if it was up, wouldn't trigger because there's too many minions on board.
Yeah. He could Microbots, trade over 1 mirror image, and then trade over the second. With the last charge of Microbots. Then test for test for Counterspell with Omega Assembly. Then brawl away the board. But
Just goes for it.
Yeah.
No mirror entity. Call out. Sees no Splitting Image. Where does he want to go with this boom bot?
I don't know. So still hasn't tested for really anything yet outside of Splitting Image. But there's not that much power on the board. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 power.
Conjurer's calling again.
He's just not using them.
He doesn't need to. He wants to find freezes instead. You can use it on the Astromancer right now as well. Seems like Bloodyface gonna favor just using the Cinderstorm to clear off a bunch of the stuff, try to utilize the damage afterwards and isolate the 7/7 because he does have a Vaporize up.
Yeah.
I think StrifeCro should know what kind of spells they are too.
Time runs out on me.
In fact, he should know exactly what they are, except for one. comes down to whether or not it's Vaporize versus Ice Barrier, or Counter Spell versus Spell.
Soup.
Oh, Abomination.
Oh.
That's awkward. Abomination. Oh, and Clockwork Automaton, double the hero power. All right, some weird stuff happening on the screen right now.
Yeah, Abomination though, kind of working against Bloodyface here though. Clears off most of his board.
Clears off almost everything.
Oh man.
In fact, it works really well with the Acolyte of Pain. You play Acolyte, you attack into the 4/4, you get 2 damage, and clear off most of the board, and you also draw a card with the Acolyte of Pain.
Might be worried about his life total though.
Fair.
All right, counterspell gone for Omega Assembly. Not a bad one.
Defend the gates!
Let the pain speak to me.
It also kills off the Militia Pain. And he's still leaving 5 damage on board.
Yeah, Turnium Rover versus War Gear. Seeing as how you're at, what, 13 life now, StrifeCro, and you have 5 showing, I think you want to take the Turnium Rover. Oh, it gets the Blast Shield.
Ooh. 1 mana Karen.
So we have 5 damage, 7 damage through the hero power. He's gonna Conjurer's Calling the Leroy Jenkins. Ooh, different charge mage. Stranglethrow Tiger is really good too. Wow.
Take heart, young one. The Earth Mother is near.
Of course, Kieran can't differentiate Dr. Boom from Garrosh.
Ooh, is he gonna ping face? Oh no. Danny missed 1 damage.
Should have pinged first.
He missed 1 damage.
Should have pinged first to get the extra Clockwork Automaton damage.
Will it matter?
It might.
Probably not. 1 damage break point. Very unlikely, but I'm noting it in my brain. Actually, I'm gonna write it down on my piece of paper here. 1 damage.
What StrifeCro going to do here is going to see. Okay, so he sees no mirror entity. Now he has to. He knows that one of them is likely to be attack to face, and one of them is likely to be counter spell. Although he still doesn't have confirmation if it's Vaporize, Ice Barrier, or counter spell for 2 out of the 3 secrets. The third secret could be anything, but except mirror entity. Which means that it could be counter spell number 2, or it could be splitting image.
All right, so not counterspell.
Whoa.
The problem with Warpath is you can only Warpath 4 times, so only goes off 1 minion.
Now he armors the Blast Shield, goes to 17, 8 showing.
But he's just under so much pressure right now. Sandbinder, there is no elementals left. In fact, Bloodyface does not have many cards left, period.
Right, StrifeCro's on a fatigue plan, maybe. Like, went through just, like, exhausting Bloodyface of all his resources. And that's why he probably has to use these Conjurer's Calling more aggressively.
The problem is, one of the cards in Bloodyface's deck is an Archmage Antonidas.
Right.
And he's at such a low life total that even if you just get... Alright, well, we're trying again.
I mean, there's some good stuff and there's some not so good stuff. The former champ obviously is very bad. It's just that Ziliax is not.
Time runs out on me.
Okay, Ghost Charger and Subject 9. Decent stuff across the board.
Yep.
And now StrifeCro has Dynamatic with the Brawl, assuming that the Ziliax doesn't survive.
Yeah, everything else it would kill. So he pretty much has a guaranteed kill on, unless it's Ziliax.
This would be a good time
Even
for a master play.
Mega Devastator, in theory, could kill the Ziliax because it could rush, but he has a splitting image up. So
Yeah, and he used both of his counters calling, so he got the right outcome for himself. Just 3 out of 4 chances to do it. Dynamatic clears everything. Bloodyface running out of options. Archmage
There it is.
Tinnitus comes in the hand,
Yep.
and that should do it.
You require my assistance.
That's going to wrap up the series. And Bloodyface able to just narrowly defeat StrifeCro in this series because, you know, it was a lot closer than it looks. Yes, Bloodyface is at 24 life, but if he didn't have his Antonitis, I think he's almost out.
Yeah, he pretty much had no threats left in the deck, like direct threats. No Sea Giants or nothing, so.
Right.
But Bloodyface taking a win, moving up to 4-8.
Yeah, and adding drama to the division because
Yeah.
StrifeCro's playoff spot isn't guaranteed and still is not. So gets the W. We'll be able to chat with Bloodyface in just a couple of minutes here. But a job well done, Bloodyface.
Yeah, and a little rough second game.
Yeah, the second game, I mean, just things didn't go his way, but the most important thing was that he was able to get multiple games in and show you the power of Luna's Pocket Galaxy and why a lot of players are like, well, if you're just able to play it on curve, it just ends up being really good for you.
Even at the end there, he didn't even give StrifeCro time. 1-mana Archmage Tinnitus, fireballs to the face. Maybe StrifeCro can like change shield blocks together or something to survive one more turn and maybe get bombs into the deck. But I do like it, and even though it's not his primary deck, I think that I've said it multiple times. If you have any chance of playing a warrior in Specialist, I think that Luna's Pocket Galaxy should be in one of your secondary or tertiary decks. So very glad that Bloodyface decided to bring it this week.
All right, let's go ahead and chat with Bloodyface, who is on the line. You there?
Hey, how are you guys?
What's up? So what do you think about what TJ says, that if you're bringing Mage and there's a chance that you run into Warrior, that it's incorrect to not bring Luna's, aka you should always be bringing Luna's Pocket Galaxy?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know about in the primary. Like, it's probably fine in the primary, but I didn't have, like, a rogue secondary, tertiary deck, and I know it can be really good in the rogue matchup, but, you know, if I'm playing against, like, I was playing against StrifeCro and Frozen this week, so I didn't want to, like, just play against Token Druid and Mech Hunter, some weird, they're known to bring weird stuff, right? So I didn't want it in the primary, but I think it's a great card, especially with Control Warrior being more popular. You have time. You always have time to play against them. Against Bomb Warrior, it's kind of tricky. Like that game, I had to go Mountain Giant, Mirror Image instead of coin Luna's Pocket Galaxy, which is like kind of a precarious spot if he has BGH or any number of stuff. So, no, I mean, but it's a great card. Like, should definitely be playing it in one of your 3 decks.
Yeah, you ran into an awkward situation in game 2 where it looked like you had the nutty opening hand, and then you kind of got stuck in a couple of awkward spots, and then it just kind of got out of control with the bomb damage, obviously.
Yeah.
Did you have this is me guessing, but did you have a guess that the card kept in his mulligan on the far left was BGH? Is that why you didn't go with Mountain Giant?
No, I just kind of wanted to wait for the calling, but maybe that was wrong. No, usually you don't keep BGH. Like, maybe with StrifeCro's list, he only has 1 BGH, 1 Collider, he wants it since he has less answers, but
yeah.
In general, BGH just isn't kept. They usually keep, like, Clockwork Goblin and Elec and just, you know, the 3 drops and try to be aggressive and stuff.
Okay.
Not Wrench Caliber, though.
Not Wrench Caliber, yeah.
No, but they should keep Super Collider. That card just solos Astromancer, solos Conjures. It's just nuts. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. I would play 2 if I played Warrior.
Gotcha, cool. Any thoughts overall? You know, we are wrapping up the first season here, Bloodyface, and I know that you have a lot of thoughts and whatnot. So if you want to go ahead and give a little bit of your thoughts on how the season went for you, any like lessons learned, in case for example, we don't get a chance to talk to you next week.
Sure. I mean, this has definitely been a learning experience. You know, that's about the best way I could put it with such an atrocious record. But, you know, I just think I kind of leveled myself week 1, not bringing Archivist Elysiana, and then queuing into the Sea of Warriors. And then I think I was just a little bit slow to adapt. You know, when we had the buffs and the nerfs, I think that, like, some people were, like, really spot on. And I think I was just kind of just one step behind. And I think I also underestimated how hard Mage is to play. I brought it 1 week, and I just think I played it pretty poorly. Like, even just the map, like, I don't know, like that game I made a few micro mistakes, like the Ray of Frost overdraw, killing my own guy, but that's kind of like whatever. But there were like some really big macro issues, I think, in some of the lines I took the first time I brought Mage. So, and I think Mage is like one of the best decks. I think I should have just taken the time to really learn more from it. I think I should have watched more streamers play it, like some of the other GMs play it. But yeah, I think I just kind of overestimated my abilities a little bit. And going to season 2, I think I know how to reach us.
Do you still believe the warrior beats the mage?
No. Did I used to say that? Did I used
Yeah.
to say that?
You were
Wow,
very
I was wrong.
outspoken. The
Yeah.
warrior beats mage.
Yeah,
and-
I was wrong. Yeah,
I
was wrong
am.
about that.
I am also very glad that out of any player I've talked to in like the past couple of years, you are the one player who has the strongest opinions, but you're also the quickest to admit when your
It's like,
opinion
what's
has
the point of
changed.
having a strong opinion if I change it so frequently?
But
No,
yeah,
I mean, but like,
But having
you know,
strong
your
opinions is
understanding-
good. It's good.
Yeah. I mean, my understanding changed, right? Like,
Yeah.
I just kind of underestimated Mage. Yep.
Yeah.
Fair enough. And lesson learned, and hopefully stuff that carries over to season 2. Congrats on the win, Bloodyface, and we'll see you back next week.
Thank you. See you guys.
All right, so with that, Bloodyface's playoffs hopes are ended, but he still is fighting for, obviously, the lessons learned, money to be won for each match, and, of course, being able to play the spoiler sometimes feels as a good consolation prize. As StrifeCro, after those standings, I believe, is 6-6, which is not exactly a guaranteed spot off of whoever's right behind him in the division. But that does it. We're halfway done with Super Sunday, TJ. Coming up next, we got a Warrior Mirror. We got Amnesiac versus PNC. This one's going to be a barn burner.
Remember when we used to call him Pay and Say?
Pay and Say. Oh, right. That's
Or
how you say it. But it's his nickname is like Pincho or Poncho.
Yeah.
Poncho? I don't know. But he shortened it to PNC.
Don't
which
punch me.
I kind of thought... Derek Brown 2019. I
Don't punch my
thought he
kidneys.
named himself after the bank at first. I was like, oh, okay, this is just like the PNC Bank. But
Like Monsanto.
right, exactly.
Yeah.